Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Just Messing Around. I don't know, what is this, part 8? Part 9? One of those. Anyway, today I'm actually. Sorry, ignore that. My phone always reminds me, hey, you need to silence me. So, today we're going to be building something. I really don't know what we're going to build. So we're just going to mess around and see what I can build. Shouldn't take too long. Just gotta boot up the game. And the lag. Can't go wrong with lag. Actually, yeah, you can. You can always go wrong with lag. So eventually, I'll probably start a new game and actually have a series on this. Just now, what I'm doing is testing all the mic configuration and everything. That's why it's just called messing around, because that's quite literally all I'm doing. I'm just messing around, testing all the settings, making sure everything is good to go. All right, so what should we build? I don't know. Nope, that was wrong. There we go. Da, da. Don't want jets. Alright, so I'm thinking something fun, something we can use in first person. Not sure what yet, though. Other way around. There we go. So I'm thinking something along the lines of something. I don't know. Once again, I did not plan out what I was going to build, which probably would make for a little bit better viewing, but sometimes it's fun to just work on the fly, you know? Especially if you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. That's when the creative juices start flowing. One thing I really haven't shown off is how to build a car, but I feel like building a car is kind of not necessarily the hardest thing to build. So that's kind of why I've left out cars in this. So instead, I build random things that nobody knows what they are or what they will be until they're actually done. That's the way I roll. Half the time, whatever I end up building ends up turning into a flop, so I just kind of trash it. But this time, we're going to try and keep it. Hopefully, it stays nice and pretty. Yeah, not really sure what I'm going for yet. Um, Shaping out kind of nicely, though. Although, I don't know yet. Maybe I'll make it into a vehicle, like a car. And obviously, it's going to be a vehicle because that's kind of what this entire purpose of building is. So let's see, what should we make? Let's make a car that can transform into something else. Alright, so we have that, we have that, we have that. Okay. So now we go to the track. It is at its basic form a car. It's not a fast car because I haven't added more than just one engine, but it is a car. It doesn't have propellers or anything, so it can't it can't float or hardly turn underwater, which is kind of also a problem. But it's getting there. I think we got the basic shape down, which is going to be the important part. Yeah, that's um that's a car at the most basic of things. Now there is a neat trick that we can do that I could show you here. What's it with? What's it with? The large propeller. So we can actually stick a propeller on this, and we can change the dynamics of a propeller to make it to where it constantly creates a downforce on the car. Actually, no, that's wrong. We don't want a downforce. We do want a downforce, but that's going to push it the other way. So we set it to this way constantly, so it's always going to be forcing air down to the ground. So as you see, well, okay, so that's wrong. All right, take two. I had it right the first time. Go figure. So you wanted to go that way. So when you use it, instead of taking off, and that happened. Okay, okay, come on. Demonstration purposes. Let's do this. There we go. All right. So what it does is it actually creates. There. It creates a downforce to where if you go over a bump, it forces you downwards. So like this, where we floated, you just do that. You can also use it to drive on walls, which I think is pretty awesome. It's not really super practical in any of the game races except for the ones where you need to go really fast and stay close to the ground. That's about it. But also, if you have any other propellers on the vehicle, it kind of freaks out and doesn't understand what to do. So you have to have them going and pushing downwards. So if they're pushing forwards, it basically just stops and does nothing. But if they're facing downwards like this, ice isn't a problem. Rocks aren't a problem. It pretty much makes it to where your car is super, super stable. Let's show the rocks, for example. So by bouncing over the rocks, my vehicle was formulated for rocks, it'd be great. But here's with the propellers. I turn the propeller off, my car just bounces all over the place. It goes a little faster, but it's not as secure. And I want to say it also helps with underwater. Yeah, it gives you a little bit more mobility underwater as well. But that's just a little hack there. Nothing super special. Alright, so let's get to the real meat of this. What do we really want to do with it? What I like doing with all my vehicles is I take a propeller. Where's propeller? Actually, we're going to do something different first. We're going to... Shoot, what's it under? Accessories? Yeah. We're going to get a windscreen here. Put it in front of our character, just because. Why not? And I like all of mine to be able to separate in a way, which is one of my favorite features. The only problem is, if you ever try to use it in like multiplayer, it does not work at all. It doesn't even let you use anything to do with the words are not working with me right now. I'm sorry. It doesn't let you use either the detachers or the tow bars during multiplayer. So if you want to go with a friend and play something, and you have this really cool vehicle design like this, you can't use it. It'll let you select it, but everything that's detachable will just detach, and the detachers are gone. So that doesn't really make for a fun experience. But what we can do here is we can take let's take some wings, some foldy wings, because why not? So what that'll do is that'll attach those two sections. What I'm going to do here is kind of the same exact premise. It's where the detachers are going to attach to that. Where are they? Detachers. Gadgets. Yeah. And we're going to attach one there and one there. And so what's going to happen now is we'll still have the exact same vehicle. Not much will change, except now it can fly. That's about it. But say I was in a race or something, and half of it was on the ground. Well, now, boom, we have the ground section, and say the other half was in the air. Say I'm in third place and I want to get into first place. Well, I just detached that, and now I'm 3 to 5 times faster than I was before. So with this, it basically is kind of like a failsafe to where you could build a really small vehicle and have a really big vehicle at the same time. And with this design at the same time as well, you can make it a water vehicle too, because it's small, it's lightweight, and it has just enough to where it stays afloat. If you go fast enough, you always float on water. It doesn't matter how fast or how slow, but if you go really, really, really fast, you'll stay up there. Even on the very bottom, eventually it'll work its way up normally, but now it's proving me wrong because the game hates me. So that's our first design here. That's just kind of a random mashup. But we can take it a step further. Because right now we don't have any extra engines or anything fancy. So what we can do, we can go under power. We can select a large engine, which is pretty much the best for this kind of thing. And we'll flip it this way. We'll put it there, put another large engine there, and we can put another one here, because why not? It kind of doesn't look as pretty, but looks aren't everything. Which is the exact opposite of what I've been saying this entire time, so don't listen to me. What we'll do is we'll throw some propellers on here. That'll make it go faster, both in the air and in the water, and on land. Pretty much all around. And to make it even better here, we'll pop one of these big guys down right here. So that'll be like a super speed. So once you're in the water, your little propellers will be making it go really, really fast in the water. But say you want to go faster, pop in the big propeller. And notice it hasn't really risen yet. That's because it's not hydrodynamic, or aerodynamic for that matter. It's not dynamic at all. But both on the land and the air, that extra propeller gives you a major, major speed boost. But once again, it's still not as fast as just this. This is the fastest thing, pretty much, that you can make with a limited number of parts. I can actually take an extra fuel off and make it even faster, but if I do that, then I don't have as much fuel, and it's only good for short races. But what we can do is we can take more of the body shapes, and we can wedge it up. We can make it look better. We can make it more aerodynamic. it kind of kills the major design that we were going for, so I'm probably not going to do that yet. But I can do that and that, and that still keeps it kind of separated a little bit. Keeps it kind of looking nice. We'll do that there. And let's do this here. We'll go with some corners, try and make that a little bit less flat. We'll put some corners on here. Actually, we'll do the corners out one, and then we'll wedge it up there. There we go. Alright, so once again now, go to the test of track. And it's definitely more aerodynamic, hydrodynamic, stuff like that. But it's not very good on the ground because it's too heavy. Which is kind of a problem, but you're not necessarily going to use it for the ground the entire time anyway. So that doesn't necessarily matter too much. But mainly it's, at this point, it's more of an underwater vehicle than an on top of water vehicle. So this is probably another fail vehicle. Another fail vehicle, just because I kind of made it wrong. Handles good in the air though, and I mean it looks okay. I wouldn't say it looks amazing. It doesn't look terrible, but it's okay. So for now, that's fail vehicle number 3. Anyway, in the next video, I'll try and make a better looking one. And did I just say the next vehicle? In the next video, there we go. I'll try and make a better looking vehicle using some of the same kind of tactics. And yeah, we'll switch it up a little bit. So stay tuned.